OJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to my village of Nintendo Switch and gaming news, PE Ninjas. Today we've got some great topics to get into, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So, NST, Nintendo Software Technology, actually co-developed Snipperclips on the Nintendo Switch. And for those who do not know, NST, Nintendo Software Technology, actually did Wave Race. And they also did 1080p snowboarding back in the day. They used to be a little bit of a bigger development team and studio for Nintendo, but things kind of went wrong, probably back in the Wii days or so, starting out with Project Hammer. And I'll have a video linked to Liam Robertson from Unseen64 in the description below. You can check out what happened with that project and a little bit more of the company and some of the issues and why that company is pretty much not spoken of in terms of Nintendo. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this whole article here about Nintendo NST developing Snipperclips. So, Nintendo's Redmond-based game studio, NST, is still managing to quietly stay relevant post the Mario vs. Donkey Kong era. The team co-developed Snipperclips, and they also made Super Mario Maker for the Nintendo 3DS. So they co-developed both games. Now for Snipperclips, NST handled level design, UI design, audio, and co-production. SF Games is a small outfit, so the collaboration worked well in delivering a quality first-party product for the Nintendo Switch launch. So this is actually really cool because Snipperclips is a co-developed with an indie studio because Nintendo, I guess, saw somewhat of an idea and they said, hey, we really like that. We'd like to have that on our system, preferably for launch. And then they said, we have a little bit of a small team that can help out too. So NST was able to do so. And I think that's pretty cool because Snipperclips for 20 bucks, if you have a fiance, you have a wife, husband, whatever the case is, kids, I think it's a fantastic co-op game to play. Heck, even with one of your buddies when you're not playing Zelda or something like that. So I really do feel that Snipperclips and Nintendo doing stuff like this with indie developers and co-developing in order to create a high quality first party title for 20 bucks at launch, and hopefully they continue doing that. But we are seeing quite a number of Nintendo collaborations or Nintendo really pushing high quality indie content. We've got a bunch of great stuff coming up, even with Runner 3 being an exclusive, and we'll have more news on that in the next PE news video. But yeah, there's some really good stuff with Nintendo as far as what they're doing with indie developers, other third parties, and hopefully it kind of has a trickle effect to other third parties outside of that. We've seen developers such as Take-Two, we've seen EA, we've seen a number of third party developers come and pledge some support to the Nintendo Switch. Just haven't announced all of what they're doing at this point. I do think E3 is going to be the big push after Splatoon 2, or right in the middle of that Splatoon 2 hype that third party developers are really going to kind of catch on board. Now, not everyone, I'm definitely not saying it's going to be a PS4 or Xbox One when it comes to third party support, but I do feel we're going to see a lot more. But Nintendo really needs to pound home first party, high quality content, exclusive content for their system in order to get people to buy it. So this is definitely good seeing NST not being dead at this point, and hopefully they can continue to do more stuff with other indie developers and really help them actually build their company back up if Nintendo wants to, or in order to help other indie developers get bigger as well, because I'm pretty sure Snipperclips is going to sell really well. Let me know what you guys think about Snipperclips in the comment section below. Moving on to the next article here. Silicon Studio, that is the studio behind Bravely Default and Project Octopath Traveler, has pledged support to Nintendo Switch with its tech. Now, many of you guys might know them for those type of games, but Silicon Studio is actually a high quality middleware developer more than anything. That's kind of where they make some of their other money and get funding, because they do create high quality middleware engines for Japanese developers and for anyone who does want to use them and license them out. So when the Nintendo Switch was revealed last October, Silicon Studio was listed as one of their partners, and now there is a little bit of a better idea of what they will be creating. So today it was announced that Silicon Studio is pledging to provide technology for the Nintendo Switch, the PostScript middleware Yibis, the all-in-one game engine Orochi, which has over 40 dev tools, and the next-gen game engine Zinco, which will be out this April, will all be made compatible with the Nintendo Switch. So once again, very good to see this type of tech being made compatible with the Nintendo Switch, whereas I'm guessing it wasn't compatible with the Wii U, or in limited terms, and some of it wasn't even out at that point. But it's really good to see this because Silicon Studio, they're actually a very high-quality developer when it comes to creating tech. They've got some good stuff, and I remember some of the stuff that they were showing was pretty freaking sweet. So I'm interested to see what developers take advantage of this tech and what we could see from them. Now I know we have Project Octopath Traveler. What game engine is that built on? Because I doubt it's made from like a modified Bravely default engine to the Nintendo Switch. There's no way they ported that over from the 3DS, and it looks completely different. So I'm guessing that it's using one of these engines here. Could it be the all-in-one game engine Orochi, which has over 40 dev tools? That would just be my guess, since we have the most information on it, and Project Octopath is a 2017 title. But who knows? It could be Ubis, it could be anything. We don't know. They have a bunch of them here. I'm doubting it's the one in April, since that one's just coming out. So we will see. We don't know what it's running on, but I'm really excited for Project Octopath. And while we're talking about Silicon Studio, I guess we can talk about that. I didn't mention it on my RPG games that Nintendo will be releasing this year, but it's definitely, well, in one of my last videos, but it's definitely one of the RPG games to look out for. It's a classic turn-based RPG, kind of like Final Fantasy VI. It just reminds me of Final Fantasy VI, and if that game was pretty much just like super remade and upported to like a current gen system, that's what that looks like, and it just looks glorious. It just looks so good. I love the retro style and feel of it, the 2D, and then fighting the enemies, how the bosses and everything are just so much bigger than how you are, and the sprites and just how everything looks is exactly what I wanted to see from the Nintendo Switch. Something that will look good in a portable mode in addition to looking good on your TV. And Silicon Studio, they really make fantastic games. I love Bravely Default, love Bravely Second, and hopefully we see more from them. And it seems like we are going to see more with their own in-house engines being ported over. This is a big generation for Silicon Studio because they haven't really done much on the PS4 and Xbox One when it comes to actually creating their own games. But with the Nintendo Switch, I think it's a chance for them to actually create games within their budget line as far as what they can do and who will accept their offer, for example, like Project Octopath. I think that's one game that really works well with the Nintendo audience, with the Nintendo fan base, and how that game can sell compared to other systems. I'm really happy with what they're doing. Let's see if this continues on after Project Octopath Traveler. Hopefully it does really well, which I think it will. Just looking at that game and looking what they're doing with it, I think it's going to do very well and appeal to a lot of people who are purchasing the Switch. But even after that, can we get the return of the Bravely franchise? I think that might be something that they revisit in a whole new coat of paint if Project Octopath does well, which I think it will. So let me know what you guys think about Silicon Studio pledging support to the Nintendo Switch in the comment section below. And lastly, this one is something that I predicted, and I definitely called it on my last video about Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. I said that it's probably going to move over to the Nintendo Switch because the Wii U platform is just not viable to release games on there. And guess what happens, guys? We just got a confirmation that Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is heading to the Nintendo Switch. So Bloodstained Ritual of the Night officially is heading to the Nintendo Switch via Nintendo of Europe. The game's logo is featured alongside several other titles. As you can see right here, Bloodstained's logo in the second to last column below, towards the middle. The graphic is similar to what was sent out a few days ago following the Nindies showcase, but Bloodstained's inclusion is new over here. So it says more than 60 quality indie games confirmed for the Nintendo Switch throughout 2017. So it's interesting, it says throughout 2017, but then Bloodstained is on here. That's a 2018 title. So I'm pretty sure that's a mistake there, but either way, we do have a confirmation of Bloodstained Ritual of the Night coming to Nintendo Switch. And you know what? It was a foregone conclusion that this was going to happen. A couple of reasons why it was and why I called this back then. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is being run on the Unreal Engine 4. That is the engine they are using to create this game. Why go through all the trouble that they were going to do with the Recore development team and actually put that on the Nintendo Switch? Because basically what they were going to do is that team that developed the Recore, they were going to actually port the engine over to the Nintendo Switch. I'm pretty sure they're going to be busy doing what they're going to do. I'm pretty sure they're just going to say, you know what, why do all this work? And now let's just actually take the engine that's already completed and already compatible with the Nintendo Switch and just port that to there. Just port it to Nintendo Switch from there. And this is why indie games are so important, because this indie game, and trust me, it is an indie game, is going to be just as high quality as anything, in my opinion. It's one of the only games that I have backed, actually the only game that I have backed on Kickstarter, that I felt that confident to plop down $60 and back this game, because I feel it's going to be a very high quality Metroidvania title. It's going to be very good. I've been playing a lot of Symphony of the Night on my Xbox One before the Nintendo Switch came out, that was. And Symphony of the Night is so good, and this game seems to be teeing up all of the same cues that Symphony of the Night did. And if it can even get somewhere near 70%, 80% of Symphony of the Night, it is going to be a classic, and it's going to be one of my favorite games released this freaking generation, or in this last 2 gens, because Symphony of the Night is a fantastic game. If you have not played it, check it out. Last time I checked, it was on Xbox Live for $3.99. That's how much I bought it for. Again, I bought it on my Xbox 360, but I had to rebuy it. But anyway, that's beside the point. This game is going to be very good, and to have this type of indie game, and remember, this is an indie game, to have this type of title on the Nintendo Switch just goes to show you the shifting dimensions as far as what people want, what people are looking for, and how indie developers are making games just as compelling, can be just as action-packed and as deep as any other game out there from a bigger studio. And look, I'm just saying that because we saw Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. We're seeing how it's shaping up. This is going to be a high quality title, and we're playing games like Shovel Knight, which necessarily the graphics aren't anywhere near as good as what you'd see with the current developed title, but at the same time, gameplay wise, it's just as good, if not better, than a lot of other games in the same genre. So we're looking at Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, and I'm seeing a very high quality game that definitely deserves the praise and all the money that it did get. And I think this is going to be the start of something new for the industry when we're seeing these games like Yooka-Laylee, when we're seeing stuff like Bloodstained Ritual of the Night do so well, and Yooka-Laylee is going to sell gangbusters. That is something new that this industry hasn't seen beforehand. We always saw titles that come out, indie developers would always just sell kind of low amounts, just enough to get the next game out, but it's completely different now. We're to the point, even with Runner 3, that we're getting exclusives on there being worked on with Nintendo. So Nintendo is actually noticing these dudes and putting them out there and saying, yeah, we want your game exclusive, not the other way around, to where they're saying, okay, well, we're just going to put it exclusive, because Nintendo's actually seeking these developers out even to make first-party titles like Snipperclips. So it's really interesting, man. And like I said, the dimensions and how this industry is going is definitely changing with games like Bloodstained, with games like Yooka-Laylee, Shovel Knight. All of these are really going to shape up to be interesting propositions for the Nintendo Switch, in addition to bigger games as well, big first-party games, big third-party games. So really excited about this. Let me know what you guys think about Bloodstained Ritual of the Night coming to the Nintendo Switch in the comment section below. I am super hyped and cannot be happier. Another awesome RPG action adventure game for the Nintendo Switch. So really looking forward to that in 2018. We still got a lot of games to get through before we get to that game. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and hit that like button if you did like it. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future, and subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest news, reviews, discussions, and more. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you ninjas for the next video. Peace!